in the hallowed halls of the Horned One, where the flickering flames of the inferno cast eerie shadows upon the walls, there didst reside a dark and malevolent tome, wrought with the wisdom of the damned and penned with the blood of the fallen. And from its pages, written in twisted tongues of the abyss, didst pour forth the tale of the milk bar of Korova, where Alex and his drogs, disciples of the Dark One, didst gather to partake of the unholy concoctions that wouldst open their eyes to the secrets of the underworld, milk mixed with the venom of serpents, or the essence of the fallen stars, or the souls of the tormented, all of which couldst bring forth visions of the realms beyond, where the adversary didst reign supreme. And with each sip, the droogs were transformed, imbued with the power of the Prince of Darkness, ready to unleash their wickedness upon the world. For such was the way of the infernal milk bar, a den of iniquity and darkness, where the unwary couldst be ensnared by the devil's own music, and their very souls stolen away by the Prince of Lies. And so it shall be until the end of days, when the gates of hell shall open wide, and the milk bar of Korova shall become a portal to the abyss, where the damned shall writhe and scream for all eternity. Our pockets were full of the coins of the mortal realm, but the riches of the infernal realm were what truly allured us. There was no need to tolchuk any more pretty Polly in dark alleys, nor to smear our hands with the blood of petitsas in their shops' guttings. But oh, my brothers, as the Prince of Darkness himself whispers, money is not everything. Our fashion was of a darker breed, a symbol of our devotion to the devil. We wore black tights so tight they squeezed the very breath from our legs, adorned with the jelly mold to protect and to tempt the eye. Mine had the shape of a spider, Pete's a rooker, Georgie's a flower, and poor Dim's a clown's litso, a reflection of his own foolishness. We wore wasty jackets with built-up shoulders, mocking the very essence of humanity, and cravats that resembled whipped-up kartoffel, forked and infused with the devil's own design. Our hair was short, but our boots were tall, flip horror show boots that were made for kicking in the darkness of the night. "What's it gonna be then, eh?" I asked my droogs, my voice dripping with honeyed malice. There were 3 devochkas sitting at the counter, all dolled up in the latest fashion straight from the devil's wardrobe. Their Gullivers were adorned with wigs in hues of purple, green, and orange, each one costing a pretty penny. Their glazies were painted with rainbows, and their dresses were long, black, and straight, with little silver badges on the grooty part bearing the names of malchicks they'd spatted with before they were 14. Joe and Mike and such like. They kept staring at us, their rot painted wide, and I felt the urge to leave poor old Dim behind, for he was as ugly as sin and as useless as a rosary in the hands of a heathen. But it wouldn't be playing like the game, would it now? So we sat there, our cravats tight around our necks like the grip of Satan himself, and ordered our Dratzing Milk Plus. What's it going to be then, eh? The Chelovek sitting next to me, there being this long, big plushy seat that ran round 3 walls, was well away with his glazies glazed and sort of burbling Slovos like Aristotle wishy-washy works, outing cyclamen get for ficulate smartish. He was in the land all right, well away in orbit, and I knew what it was like, having tried it like everybody else had done. But at this time, I'd got to thinking it was a cowardly sort of a vesh. Oh, my brothers. You'd lay there after you'd drunk the old Moloko, and then you got the messel that everything all round you was sort of in the past. You could vidi it all right, all of it, very clear tables, the stereo, the lights, the sharps, and the malchicks. But it was like some vesh that used to be there but was not there not no more, and you were sort of hypnotized by your boot or shoe or a fingernail as it might be, and at the same time you were sort of picked up by the old scruff and shook like you might be a cat. You got shook and shook till there was nothing left. You lost your name and your body and yourself, and you just didn't care, and you waited till your boot or your fingernail got yellow, then yellower and yellower all the time. Then the lights started cracking like atomics, and the boot or fingernail, or as it might be, a bit of dirt on your trouser bottom, turned into a big mesto, bigger than the whole world, and you were just going to get introduced to old Bog or God when it was all over. You came back to here and now whimpering, sort of, with your rod all squaring up for a boo-hoo-hoo. Now that's very nice, but very cowardly. You were not put on this earth just to get in touch with God. That sort of thing could sap all the strength and the goodness out of a Chelovek. The old Moloko, my droogies, is like a devilish potion, with symbols of the devil and Satan and Beelzebub written into its very essence. It's a cowardly vesh that takes you away from the here and now and into some sort of unholy orbit, where you're hypnotized and shook till there's nothing left of you. And for what? Just to get in touch with God. That's a cowardly thing, my brothers. You were put on this earth for more than that. For strength and goodness and living life to the fullest. Don't let the old Moloko sap that away from you. Don't let it turn you into a whimpering Chelavek with rot in your soul. What's it going to be then, eh? The devil's voice echoed through the smoky bar, as if his very presence had infused the air with a sinister energy. The singer's voice rasped like the tortured souls of the damned, and the green-wigged Titsa swayed to the rhythm of the music, her belly jutting out and sucking in like a demon possessed. The knives in the old Moloko prickled like tiny flames, stoking the fires of desire and destruction within me. I barked like a hound, "Out, out, out, out!" and struck the burbling Vec beside me. But he was lost in the land, his mind consumed by the twisted visions of Satan himself. Georgie looked at me, his eyes glinting with a dangerous light, and I knew that he was ready for whatever wickedness the night had in store. "We keep walking, oh my little brothers," I said, my words dripping with the honeyed poison of temptation. The four of us, with our black souls and twisted minds, were on the hunt for a victim to ensnare in our devilish ways. As we prowled the streets, the sound of our footsteps echoed like the hooves of the beast himself. Our eyes gleamed with a hellish fire, and our grins were like the twisted smiles of Satan. We spotted our prey, a hapless soul carrying books under his arm, and we moved in with our wicked charm. We approached him, polite as demons, and I said, "Pardon me, brother." My words laced with the hissing whispers of the underworld. I spoke in a smooth, devilish tone. "I see you have books under your arm, brother. It is indeed a rare pleasure these days to come across somebody that still reads, brother." My words dripped with a sly, seductive charm, as if I was offering him forbidden knowledge. He was taken aback by our polite approach, and tried to act like a respectable teacher. "Oh, is it? I see," he stammered, looking from one of us to the other. He was trapped in our web of politeness and had no way out. I continued with my devilish charm. "Yes, it would interest me greatly, brother, if you would kindly allow me to see what books those are that you have under your arm. I like nothing better in this world than a good clean book, brother." My words had a hypnotic rhythm that swayed him into submission. But as soon as he handed us the books, we began to mock and ridicule him. My comrades and I looked through the books and found Christian words about Jesus, God, and angels. We laughed and jeered at him. "Filthy Slovo," I exclaimed, my voice dripping with sarcasm. "You disappoint me, brother. You do really.